Summer in the southwestern Cape can be a really harsh time of the year for plants. The sun is usually out, there's not been much rain for many weeks, and the winds can really blow as well, drying the plants out. So for many plants, they just sort of go rather dormant at this time of year. There are some plants for which they choose this is the time of year to flower and look their best. And one such example is here. This is the red everlasting, or Phaenocoma prolifera. Phaenocoma, the name itself, the scientific name, means a brilliant head, or coma. This is the coma on the top. These are the flower heads that appear. And you can feel them, and they feel quite papery. And that's because what you're looking at here are not the flowers themselves, but bracts around the flower. So these plants, they're members of a daisy family. They have these beautiful heads, but it's inside those heads where you can see the flowers. So let's take a closer look inside at what's going on. So here we have a very typical head of flowers for Phaenocoma. Several reddish flower heads clustered at the tops of the branches, and each flower head has these very papery bracts around it, but they're not the flowers. The flowers themselves are this white centre, and there's probably 100 or more flowers in the middle there, very densely packed together. The white ones are actually still in bud. You'll notice this dark ring around the centre. Those are actually the open flowers, and the styles which protrude from the flowers are this deep purple colour and give it a very dark ring to the centre. These flowers open from the outside towards the inside. So here you can see one that is just starting to open. This one has progressed a little bit, and then as they get old you'll see that there's dark purple flowers all the way almost to the middle. So we're going to look into this flower head itself now and see what's going on there. Here we have a close-up of a head of a Phaenocoma, and you can see the red bracts encircling the flower head with tightly packed flowers in the middle. The innermost flowers, they're white and still in bud, and surrounding them there's that dark ring of purple flowers. In the middle of each of these tiny flowers, you can just make out the style protruding upwards. However, this style is not yet receptive, but at the tip of the style you can actually see small pale lilac bubbles. Those are the pollen grains. As the style has risen up through the flower, it lifts the pollen from the anthers and places it at the end of the style, and in that way it presents the pollen to the pollinators. In some daisies, once pollen has disappeared, the style eventually opens to expose the stigmas and then becomes receptive to pollen from other flowers. But in Phaenocoma, this only happens in the outermost flowers. So look here, you can see these flowers at the edge, tucked in amongst the bracts. They have divided styles and they're receptive to pollen. Thus, Phaenocoma has two distinct types of flowers. The inner flowers, they function like male flowers, presenting the pollen, but lacking ovaries that can become seeds, while the outermost flowers act like female flowers, and they have functional styles and ovaries that can develop into seeds. And we can see this by cutting the flower in half. So here we've cut through an actual flower head, and you can see the individual flowers. They're clustered together with those white feathery pappus on each side. Now if you look there, you'll see that the middle ones, there's actually no room for an ovary at the bottom. That is all the flower, and therefore they are all male. But the outer ones, you'll note this has turned very much into a seed here, and there's a developing ovary here, a lot thicker and broader. So you can see that they are turning into seeds and have functionally behaved female, collected the pollen and pollinated the ovary to turn into a seed. So I hope that you found that interesting, getting a chance to get a bit of a more in-depth look at this beautiful red everlasting, and understanding the structure of those flowers just helps you appreciate, when you're out in the Fynbos, that little bit more about the plants that you are seeing. If that did interest you, then take a look at our Insights to Fynbos course that we're running here at Philipscop. There's more information on our website, and it will give you a chance to just learn a bit more about what makes Fynbos so special, its ecology, its conservation, but also getting out in the field with an expert and having a look at some of these plants and understanding their structure, and that helps you to identify themselves. So hopefully we'll see you at some point at Philipscop. Look forward to seeing you here.